The Madisonville Police Department recently announced its new chief after news that its former chief actually planned to retire in January.
And after a calm first week in his new role, Chief Herbert Gilbert sat down to talk with KAGS HD News. Star Parker explains how the chief's departure from Houston and return to Madisonville has finally come full circle.
The Madisonville Police Department has a new chief in town.
Good morning.
Although Herbert Gilbert hasn't called Madisonville home for nearly 4 decades, he recalls his first job after graduating from Madisonville High School.
When I finished high school, I immediately went to work for TDCJ, which is the prison system here in Texas.
That job would be Herbert's first opportunity to wear a uniform to work, something he would become familiar with for the next 40 years.
I applied with the Houston Fire Department in 1980. Went to work there and stayed there right at 10 years. And, you know, that was serving the public.
But Gilbert wanted to do more to serve the public.
Next thing you know, I was a policeman over there and was for the last almost 25 years.
Although he's had a long career in the police force that started off as a patrol officer and ultimately led to a position as the South Houston Chief of Police, Gilbert says becoming an officer wasn't his dream job.
My childhood dream was actually to be an NFL football player.
And he got to live out that dream, well, sort of.
I was able to live that dream after finishing high school. You know, the semi-pro leagues were developing, and you know, I've played a little semi-pro ball in and around Huntsville.
While some may feel it's easier coming from a city as large as Houston to a town as small as Madisonville, the chiefs say not so much. In this position, it's all about trade-off, giving away certain things while also taking on others.
The trade-out is basically in the city of South Houston. I was in command of not only the police department but of a jail and a dispatch center.
In Madisonville, he's in charge of the Humane and Code Enforcement Department, while also hoping to tackle other important issues, such as communication with the community. So whether he's fighting crime in Houston or patrolling the streets of Madisonville.
Wow, this brings back memories.
One thing for sure, he's happy to be back on his home turf. In Madisonville, Star Parker, KAGS HD News.
Now, the chief says one of the reasons he wants to enforce communication is because he has learned that it's one of the best ways to understand the culture of a community. That's really great to see someone come back home like that.
Yeah, just like they said, full circle, and I'm sure he loved seeing those old pictures of himself graduating from Madisonville. Great story, good to see him back. I'm sure a lot of people excited to see him back in town as well.
That's true. All right, we'll be right back with